Well, hello, Pilgrim. Welcome to Old Nerd Watches Westerns, Episode 7. This time I watched Rio Grande from 1950. This movie came out in 1950. It's a black and white, uh, not quite a Western, more of a war movie, I guess, than Western because it's cowboys versus Indians, so I guess it's technically a Western. But it's the Union soldiers or the cavalry or whatever versus the Indians. But that's just basically the backdrop for the story of this movie. John Wayne is the captain of a regiment of soldiers that are on the in and out outpost defending against Indian attacks. His estranged son, who he hasn't seen since he was really little, shows up in John Wayne's newest recruits, a new batch of recruits. And shortly after, the boy's mother, John Wayne's wife, shows up to take him back, to take her boy back home because he's too young. He lied about his age to get into the army. And it's basically a story about family, really, with a backdrop of the cavalry versus the Indians. But it's a very good movie, directed by John Ford, and this is one of his early, I think, one of his earliest team ups with John Wayne. There's a really good making of on this DVD, hosted by Leonard Maltin. So this DVD came out in '99, and this Making of Rio Grande special feature, hosted by Leonard Maltin, was a few years older. It must have come out in '96 or so. So it makes me wonder if it was like for TCM, Turner Classic Movies channel, maybe this little documentary they did for the movie, the making of it. I can't recommend this one enough. I've never seen this before, and really glad to have seen it now. Like the last John Wayne movie that I did in this series, Rio Bravo. There's a couple of songs in this. There's a very famous musical group, singing group. Now I can't remember the name of them, but they're featured in this movie, and they sing a bunch of songs. And it fits right into the story. Like, usually I was never one for musicals, and younger me probably would have lost interest or groaned when they started singing in this movie. But it fit very well, I think, now. Just some old country western type songs. Basically, they fit into the story because the actors were soldiers. They were portraying soldiers. So the singing group were soldiers in the infantry, and they would sing to pass the time. So that was really cool. What else? Yeah, as you can see, this is still sealed. But of course, you can get into it like this and get the disc out to watch it, and that's what I did. I don't want to take that off. There's not going to be too many more of these out there in the wild as the years go by, where you get a DVD and it's still got the sticker seal at the top of it that you have to tear off to open it. And so I'm not going to open it just yet, even though there's a nice booklet in there. It looks like it's pretty nice booklet bonus feature in here that I'd like to look at, but like I said, I can't get it out without tearing this, and I don't want to tear this. Maybe someday, or maybe I'll sell it like this. I don't know. I could very well come across another one of these in my travels to the used stores, so we'll see. But this was a very good movie. John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara are good together. A couple years later, they did The Quiet Man together, with John Ford also directing. As a matter of fact, in the making of, this is what I was getting at a minute ago and lost my train of thought, but in the making of special feature, they say that John Ford wanted to make The Quiet Man with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. And who was it? Who made this? Who put this out? Is this Paramount? I forget. Anyway, the production company that put this out, the deal was that John Ford had to make a Western with the two leads that he wanted to use in The Quiet Man, John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. He had to make a Western. So he basically just whipped this out quick. I think it was based on a novel maybe, but they threw this together really quick. And you wouldn't know because it's really well done. Looks like they, spent a lot of money on the cavalry and the fort and the Indian army. So, I mean, there was a bit of action and fight scenes in this. And so they spent a good deal of money. But John Ford, the deal was if he wanted to make The Quiet Man with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara, he had to make a Western first. And he made this. And then a couple years later, they made The Quiet Man. And this movie is an absolute classic, and that's why it gets this nice DVD treatment. It's a nice set, even though back in 1999, special features were pretty slim. I mean, it's the original theatrical version, digitally remastered. The making of, which you didn't see a lot of back in the early DVD days. Original theatrical trailer, French and Spanish language track, and captions. It's pretty bare bones, except for that making of. Not even a commentary track. It's kind of an older disc, but this is a very nice disc, a nice set. So if you find this out in the wild, which you probably could if you go hit the Salvation Army, the Goodwill, the flea market, or the yard sales, you're likely to run into some of these, and this in particular. So keep your eyes open for it and pick it up if you can. You'll probably get it for $1 or $2, like I did. And it's a great movie to have in your collection. Anyway, if anybody knows any more about Rio Grande, please comment it down below. Otherwise, like, share, and subscribe. Stick around for more movie reviews, DVD reviews, physical media stuff, and especially for comic book stuff. I'll see you next time.